Guys, welcome to another movie analysis. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie about love. Just kidding. It's a movie that's literally a hate fest. It's called It Follows. I'm sure if you're a horror fan, you've either heard of it or watched it at least once. So, when I saw the trailer in the theater, because I saw a movie that a lot of people didn't like, and that's Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death. I don't see why people didn't like it. A lot of people in my theater liked it. According to IMDb, some of you hated Woman in Black 2. But, during, if you've been to a movie theater, they always show previews for future movies. And, let's say you go to a family movie. They're going to show you previews for other family movies that are going to be coming out. And same thing for horror movies. So, they showed the preview for It Follows. And I was like, that looks amazing. Oh my god. That looks amazing. That looks like it's going to be the next awesome indie horror film, in my opinion. Then, never came out here. So, I was like, okay, it's an indie film. Of course it's not going to come out here. They usually don't make that much money. So then I finally watched it. Boy, did I regret that decision. So, the first problem, I think the problem is, okay, this is probably the biggest issue I have with this movie. It is about one of the dumbest horror cliches of all time. You don't know what that cliche is? It's sex and nudity equals death. I hate that cliche. I think it's a really dumb cliche. And this movie, that's mostly what this movie is. It's that cliche freaking made into about, a 94-minute movie? And, oh my god, it did such an awful job. So, I know a lot of people liked it, and I see why. They had the balls to make a movie based on this cliche. But then, I also kind of think of it as probably one of the most overrated movies I've ever seen. I just wanted to throw this in there. There's a little movie that actually a lot of people are hating. Only a few percent like it. I'm part of that few percent I should say. And that is The Bye Bye Man. And that is way better, way scarier than It Follows will ever be. Actually, I should also mention, it's also way original than It Follows will ever be. So, I just want to throw that in there. But anyway, back to the analysis thing. So, mostly, I'm not going to tell you the story. I'm sorry, but if this was a review of that movie, I probably would tell you, what it's about, but you guys can look that up. So, so the acting's alright, okay? The acting's alright. Screenplay's alright. Characters are semi-likable, but it's just this... I don't know what to say of it. It's not scary. A lot of people say, it's one of the scariest movies in a decade. It's not. Either that, or I've seen so many horror movies like this that I'm desensitized and I just don't get scared by them no more. But it wasn't. And to be fair, I should say, for a terrible movie, it had some cheap scares. Really cheap scares. Like the annual jump scare. Oh yeah, I thought this movie was original. I think my biggest issue, I just said this too, was the cliche. It was literally based on that cliche. And it's just like, oh my god. It also has one of the most cliched titles ever. It Follows. Oh jeez. So, It Follows I didn't like it. I know why people, like I said, I know why people like it. The creature was cool. I gotta say, the creature was needed to die. It was really hateable, which is good for a villain. But then, I had great acting, like I said. Great acting, great characters, great screenplay. That's it. I didn't like the story. And, again, because the story is just fueled by this cliche. And it's just the movie, on the other hand, Seriously, it didn't even have as much cliche as it showed in the trailer. Am I overthinking this? Probably, but people are overrating this movie. I think that. Because every video by every horror fan I've seen on YouTube, like, praise this movie, saying it's one of the best, most original movies that come out ever. The Purge is original. Blair Witch is original. Train to Busan is original. This movie was utter garbage, and I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And I know a lot of you are gonna tell me oh, I liked it because of this and this and this and everything. That's your opinion. But I'm sorry to say this, but I'm just telling you my opinion on this movie. I didn't like it. I thought it was unoriginal. It had a terrible story. And the effects were okay. They were okay. Overall, I would give this movie maybe a D plus at best, because again, just like the cliche of sex and nudity equals death, and just sex and nudity in films overall, just like both of those, this movie needs to die, be destroyed. See, I'm gonna give you a little something. A lot of people say that because sex sells. Well, this little fun fact. It's probably not relevant to the video, but did you know David Cronenberg? He is famous for using sexual things in his horror films. Well, did you know that he uses them to make people scared? What's so scary about sex and nudity, even though it's a very gross thing? Well, there's actually a phobia of sexual things, and David Cronenberg loves to use this phobia in his films to play with the audience, because he doesn't care if it sells or not. He knows that if he uses mostly every phobia that is kind of known to man, he can get the audience to be scared, or be disturbed at least. That fear is called genophobia, and usually people who suffer from it get really scared when they see sexual acts anywhere. So he kind of utilizes that fear to make his movies to scare mostly the entire audience. Just want to throw that out there. It Follows just does it probably because sex sells. I don't think it even knows about this phobia. So, hey, I gotta say though, I give props to the creators and writers of this movie. They had the balls to actually make a movie based on this cliche, and yet it turned out to be one of the dumbest movies I've seen in 2014. So, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys like this movie, that is totally fine. Like I said, if you guys like this movie, that is totally fine. Good for you, actually, I should say. But if you don't like the movie, again, you kind of with me. There's only a few people who actually thought this was a really unoriginal movie. So, yeah. I'm going to leave this here. Please like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in the shadows.